YouTube, it is Chris here, and I have well, it's a review. It's a knife, another knife from Schrade. Like I said, I'm really behind, and well, the 2015 line is going to be coming out from Schrade in the next few months. So, dun dun dun. So yes, you're going to see a lot of Schrade videos that you may have seen before from other reviewers and stuff like that here on YouTube. But I'm going to be trying to pumping them out really fast so I can go ahead and give my full and honest thoughts. But I can also make the path nice, clear, and open for the 2015 line, because from what I've heard, it is going to be awesome. Okay, this is the SCH501 partially serrated pocket folding knife. Now, this blade has a lot of cool features going for it. And yes, I want to consider the price ratio, but I also have a couple of blades in a very similar price category that are just simply much better. Now, this isn't going to be a complete bash on the knife in any way, shape, or form, but the reason why I'm giving this review the way I am is because this thing had a lot of cool features going for it, and it has a lot of positives, but the negatives really just got to me. And I still think for the price they could have just paid just a little bit more attention to some small minor things and fixed a lot of problems. Okay, so starting out, the aesthetics are actually fairly decently pleasing. They use 9CR18 MOV high carbon stainless steel. It has a gorgeous, beautiful looking stonewash finish. It has a steel liner on the inside for the blade. It's a liner lock. Has G10 handle scales with the stonewash steel like exterior liner for the aesthetic look. It's got jimping in some good places here at the back of the blade on the knife, so it gives a good, firm, positive grip. Now, some people don't like the partially serrated blades. They're totally against it. But for me, if you're in a survival situation with a fixed blade or a folding knife for whatever reason, any reason you want the serrated teeth for an all-around tool, which is usually why I pick it, to be able to hack and saw through small debris, seat belts, material. It just cuts better when all goes to crap. It helps you bite in and rip stuff open if you need to, because the knife may not just be doing enough for you. Now, I love the blade. The blade itself, I love it. I like the grind. I love the drop point design. I love the length at 3.4 inches. I think it's got a good width. It has a good geometry to it. And I love the fact they have the steel liners, the G10, the stonewash. Visually, it looks great. Looks pretty good. But for me, that's where it ends. Oh, and it has a deep pocket carry clip. But for me, that's where all the positives that make me go, ooh, this is pretty, go right out the window. I still want to restate, Schrade pumps out some really, really good stuff, and this blade had a lot of good things going for it. It just, with this particular version or blade, this particular sample that I got, just didn't cut it. Didn't cut it at all. I was really disappointed. Okay, so let's get to the things I do not like. The liner lock is very squared off, and it kind of like hurts. It's very sharp when you push it back in. It like puts too much stress and strain on your finger. That's for me tightening it up, guys. It usually actually has a better deployment with the finger actuator. But there we go. I had to tighten it up because they had a lot of blade play, but I don't know if you can tell, but it has significant blade play still in it even after I tightened it up. Even after tweaking the blade myself and trying to wrench it down, which I've had no problems with any of the blades doing that before, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. It still has forward and back blade play, which isn't so bad, but the side-to-side blade play, even after tightening it up, is kind of annoying. Secondly, the thumb studs. They actually are loose. I can't take them off, but I can spin them around. And I was like, what? That kind of like wigged me out. The thumb studs are loose, because I know they screw in, they usually lock down, but they're loose. I don't know if you guys can hear that. No, you guys can't. But it moves around, and it's loose, and I can spin it. It's like, what? That, it just drove me nuts. Then, the handle design, the overall concept and design is really nice. It has a good ergonomic feel to it, but there are, along the edges, if you guys can see that, let me bring it a little more in focus for you. I don't know why it's not focusing so well for you, but I don't know if you guys can see this. There we go. It's really squared off, and it's really sharp on these edges. It's really sharp, and it's not very comfortable. It's an open back design, which is fine, and it actually has pretty good lockup for the liner lock. But like I said, that liner lock is uncomfortable. It hurts to push it back in. It's not comfortable. They got the finger actuator, you know, nice and rounded off, and I'm like, well, if you could round this off, why couldn't you round everything else off? Like, it's really sharp up in here. There's hot spots everywhere. It's like it's gonna get on your nerves after a while holding. It's very blocked off and sharp. It's not squared off like this, where it's still, you know, it's still rounded off. How you see they put them 45-degree angles and smooth those edges out. They did not do that with this at all. It's very sharp edges. And another thing is, this is a lanyard hole. What the hell is this designed for? Like, what am I sticking in there? Yarn or dental floss? I can't put paracord in there. I've tried. Doesn't work. And the hot spots, the blade wobble, the spinning thumb knobs. See, look, these things are just spinning. Like, out of control. These things are wild. The discomfort with engaging and disengaging the liner lock. This blade had a lot of potential, has a lot of good things going for it visually, but just missed the mark, I think. I think if they would have just given it just a little bit more attention, it would have done a whole lot better. Because this blade had a lot of potential, and this blade is cheap. This blade is only 17 bucks. It's like dirty dirt cheap. It's still in that really budget-friendly category, just like the SCH501S and 303 that I've reviewed before. But you get a whole lot more knife and a whole lot more quality for an extra $3. You're telling me just because you spent $3 less selling this knife that they went to complete? No. Now, for me, I don't like the hot spots. And the hot spots really what don't do it for me. And the discomfort for disengaging, engaging, and disengaging the blade with the liner lock. But personal preference, this is not my favorite knife. And right here, it digs in. There's like an angle. It's like a hollow grind back in here. And it goes to this really sharp edge. That's what's so uncomfortable. See, the jimping's not even that uncomfortable, not that discomfortable and sharp. It's just, it's decent. It's okay. We'll say okay, but it could have done a lot better. There's a crap load more knives in the Schrade folding knife line and assisted opening knife line that are much better, that aren't that much more money, that just did a much better job. For the price category. This is literally only $17 on Amazon. It's not expensive at all. The glass breaker is pretty darn solid. It's a nice big huge solid piece down in here that holds it all together. But I mean, like I said, the Stonewash finish, the decent steel, the geometry, the aesthetics, the materials they used, all gave it a lot of promise. But for me, it felt like they kind of skimped around the edges a little bit too much, and it just kind of, they didn't think it all the way through. They went really too much for the aesthetics and the looks of the blade instead of the overall performance, reliability, and functionality of this knife. But like I said, you do get what you paid for. It's only 17 bucks on Amazon. If you want a good beater folder knife that will function, yes, it does function. The Ford Black, I haven't had it fail on the lanyard fail. So if you want a good beater knife that you could just, rip open into boxes and open letters and rip open twine and packaging, like, wherever you decide to work or whatever you do, go for it. Rip this knife a new one. Let it be the knife that you just literally just beat on, or maybe it's a like a practice knife you give younger children, younger teens who, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on, but you want to get them into the love of knives. I think the $25 and under category is a good place to start. Like I want to say, these are just my personal opinions about the blade and my slight dislike for certain aspects of this particular knife. Like I said, I have showcased a lot of Schrade gear over the past few months, and they've had some really big rock stars, some really awesome stuff. And in my personal opinion, this is not necessarily one of them. This could have been so much better. But it's not. It's not horrible. It's not a complete fail. But it's just a little bit of attention in a couple of areas could have really done this thing a whole lot of good and really improved my overall opinion of this knife. Because I really wanted to like this knife because I love the way it looks. It looks freaking cool. Well, without wasting any more time or taking any more time away, I hope you guys enjoyed the review today. Do not let this one particular review of this knife dissuade you from anything from Schrade. I know you guys know that Schrade pumps out some really cool stuff. But that's it for now. I'm out.